Welcome to Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. The time has finally come for me to join the rest of the 21st century and take a look at these cell cameras. I've resisted, and the main reason, well, a couple reasons. One, I didn't have any of them, but I'm sure I could have gotten my hands on some cameras pretty easily. But the main reason was because I just didn't want too much information. I didn't want the technology to spoil the challenge of the hunt or the excitement that comes when a nice buck shows up. I guess my fear was if I knew too much, I would go into a hunt with the thought that I should see that buck, and if I don't, I would be disappointed. Whereas typically I go into a hunt hoping to see the buck, and if I do see him, it's an adrenaline rush and I'm elated. I don't know what's going to change. I'm going to find out. But the main reason for the switch, I need to get better information now. I'm going to start reaching out onto other properties. I need to kind of stretch where I'm hunting a little bit more. Plus, even on this farm, there's places on here where I really need to know what's going on there, but I don't want to go into those spots. So I've always run my cameras in the past right on the main trails that lead through the farm. So I can drive right up to them on the four-wheeler. I don't have to, go anywhere near where the deer are bedded. And that's okay, but I'm sure there's big areas that I'm missing. I'm sure there are bucks on this farm that I've lost track of because I'm afraid to go into some of those spots in my scouting. So as a result, there's probably opportunities that I'm missing out on. Plus, I think it'd be really fun to gain information, just basic knowledge of what deer do. But the only way to do that is to, sometimes you have to go places that are a little bit off the beaten path. And again, I don't really want to do any of that kind of scouting with conventional trail cameras where I have to go in and pull the SD cards out of them. So Stealth sent me some cameras. I'm going to go in today and I'm going to swap out what I've got on a part of the farm that I'm not going to hunt for a while. That way I'm not so worried about driving in there now. It's late morning and messing things up. I really don't want to be out there on November 3rd, November 4th, November 5th, whatever it is. Today is the 1st. The point being, I'm going to give this a try. I'm excited to see how this technology works. Like I said, I'm finally joining the 21st century. We'll see how I feel about it. And I'll give you a report after the season. I'll talk about what I learned and whether in any way using this technology makes the hunt less rewarding or less satisfying. I'm going to be fairly conservative in how I look at it. I'm not going to get minute by minute uploads. At the most, I'm going to look at photos once a day, and maybe less often than that even, just so I'm not tempted to make my strategy each day based on where some deer showed up during the night. I just don't like that idea. That I think would take some of the excitement and challenge out of the quest for me. So let me get these cameras out, and then I'll close up with a few comments at the end. Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails is brought to you by Redneck Blinds, Code of Silence Apparel, Hunt Stand Pro Whitetail app, Whitetail Institute, Research Equals Results, B3 Releases, XO Broadheads, Exact Sights, Muddy Outdoors Tree Stands, Stealth Cam Trail Cameras, and Hoyt. I'm standing right in one of my clover plots here, not too far from the last camera I set up. It's pretty awesome right now. I mean, I know I'm getting off topic, but the deer are really eating clover. Apparently they want something green. So I've got standing corn, I've got standing beans, plenty of grain, but they're going for the clover. This is the Whitetail Institute Imperial Whitetail Clover. It's a white clover. Man, they're just mowing it down. But anyway, I wanted to wrap this up. I did notice that I don't get cell phone reception on this whole farm, and I knew that. You know, I try not to spend a lot of time messing with my phone when I'm hunting, but I have noticed that when I was trying to get a message out in the tree stand, it was pretty hit or miss. So that's going to be the tricky part with the cell cameras here. Fortunately, Stealth makes some non-cell cameras, and in those spots where I couldn't pull a signal, I swapped out and put the non-cell cameras in those spots. And I guess that's always going to be a trade-off when you're messing with cellular, is you got to get that reception, and it kind of comes and goes. Even, like I said, I'll get it for a little while, then it'll be gone, and then back again. So I'll know more in a few weeks. I'm going to figure this out. I'm not very good at the technology of, you know, figuring out how to fit it all together and make sense out of it and have it be part of my strategy, you know, as I get into the rest of the season. But I do have to find some bucks. You know, I've got maybe a shooter here on this farm, a mature buck. There's lots of really nice young bucks. You know, so in the next couple of years it should be really good. But I'm going to have to expand my range and find a couple more spots to hunt. So these cameras should really come in handy. Well, that's it for now. We've got a lot of hunting coming up, so keep checking back. I know I'm going to try to go solid for the next couple weeks, every single day. So there should be episodes coming up just about every day. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I'll see you back here again soon for the next episode of Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. And remember to always dream big.